Temple 61, Kōonji. As should be readily apparent, this is unlike any other temple on the pilgrimage. It's a modern concrete construction temple, and it's very, very different. During the 1920s, temples began to specialize and build lodges for pilgrims. This was the first to do so on a regular basis, and it became very popular. And it used to have space for 350 pilgrims, but they have since torn it down. It is no longer part of the temple. And when you come, you offer your incense and candle here. And this is for both the, can be both for the Daishido and the main hall. And then you can come up here and pray to the main hall and make your offering here. There's the bell. There's the Nokkyo Sho, which looks like kind of a temporary building, perhaps why they built something new where the old shokubo, the old inn used to be. And here is the Daishido. And many, many pilgrims just come to these two and offer their offerings. But both of these things are a little lame in my opinion. And that's because where you should really go is you light your candle and offer your incense, and then go on up and onto the inside of this modern day structure. So let's go on up there and see what the inside is like. And I have permission to film on the inside. Stairs and are greeted by a landing. You can see that this is a completely concrete building. And the first thing you do is take off your shoes. And you can place them in the shoebox to your right. And once you come in, here on the right, this is the Daishido. And while this building is made of concrete, you get an idea that it's made for the modern parishioner with seats facing forward. Yogi visited here in the 10th century, and when Kōbōdaishin came here in the 9th, he found a pregnant woman who was in pain, so he lit incense and prayed for her. As a result, a boy was safely born. The Daishi made a vow here to guard children, to ease birth, to sacrifice himself for others, and to allow women to attain Buddhahood. Therefore, the temple is popularly known as Koyasu Daishi, or the Daishi for protecting children. And the image of the Daishi in the Daishi Hall is actually the Daishi holding a child. Up here, you can leave your name card and your monetary offering. And this is the main image, and this is who you pray to for the main image. According to Oliver Statler, this used to be one of the poorest temples, and then it went to be one of the richest temples. I think that is by nursing a regular congregation for people to come and pray at. So as an aesthetically pleasing old wood construction temple dating from the 13th century, this temple is not. But in terms of the modern interpretation of a temple, this most definitely is. While many of the temples I've visited so far on the pilgrimage are more come, pray outside, very few people are allowed inside except for maybe a specialty service for a funeral, a few people at a time, this temple has completely modernized and is meant for a modern congregation to come and pray regularly and make offerings regularly. This temple actually can seat 500 people, and most of the temples we've come across so far cannot sit anywhere near that number. So, temple number 61, Kōonji, Incense Garden Temple. When you leave Temple 60, Yokominenji, and head to Kōonji, the signs actually do not take you all to Kōonji. They actually all first indicate the Okunoin of Kōonji, which is this, Shirataki, which is white waterfall, because there's a waterfall behind this. This is the Okunoin to Temple 61. There's no Daishido. It's a very simple temple, place for candles and incense built into one. I actually found this one of the coolest incense candle places. And then the inside is dedicated to Fudo. And you can get your book signed here as well, or a separate book if you're depending on what type of book you got to begin with. And this is just off the road, so when you're coming down you have to kind of detour to come here, but all the signs from Yokuminenji tell you to come here. And then there's the pilgrim path kind of splits to go straight down the road or to come down here. And the waterfall is up there. So this is the waterfall that this is named after, and it actually looks like it's meant to be, you can take off your clothes and go and stand under the waterfall. It's going to be a little too cold for me, so I'm not going to do it, but this is a pretty cool waterfall. So definitely on your way from Yokuminenji, when you come down, do stop here. This is one of the cooler little waterfalls with some really funky statuary. Shiratakaji, the Okunoin, the rear temple of Temple 61, Kōonji.